Member for Oatley.
My question is directed to the Minister for Energy and the Environment. Can the Minister update the House on how the government is ensuring energy security for New South Wales and downward pressure on...
Great question.
Minister.
I sure can. And can I paraphrase the Prime Minister and say, how good is the member for Oatley? How good is the member for Oatley? I think he's the hardest working member of this Parliament, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, he may not be pretty, but he's pretty effective, the member for Oatley, Mr. Speaker. And I know he's got a laser-like focus on reducing household power bills, Mr. Speaker. I know he's absolutely focused on driving down household power bills, and whilst we on this side are very focused on covering households' power bills, the Leader of the Opposition's focused on getting Labor households to cover Kaila Murnain's bills, Mr. Speaker. And I feel sorry for the ordinary rank and file members of the ALP. I mean, firstly, they've got to cop Kaila losing elections. Then they've got to cop her covering up a crime. Then they've got to cop her lying to ICAC. And then they've got to cop her whipping for the Leader of the Opposition's leadership. I mean...
Minister. Member for Keira, what's the point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I think you would even say 129, probably not relevant, or...
I'm going to allow him a little bit more time.
He's getting very close to being relevant.
Thank you. Minister will continue.
I'm getting close to being relevant, but I'm not quite there yet. And the price that the rank and file of the ALP have to pay is to pay for Kaila Murnain's payout. Allow the Leader of the Opposition to pay 7 Audi bags of cash for Kaila Murnain, cover up Kaila's retirement plan, Mr. Speaker. But I digress. Mr. Speaker, we're focused on driving down power prices for households right across New South Wales. And that's why this week I was delighted to announce the low-income household rebate.
Sorry, Minister. Just stop the clock. But I think you were coming back to being relevant. But I'm happy to hear the member for Shellharbour.
Speaker, can you explain to us exactly how what he's saying is coming out of his mouth? 129 is relevant in any way, shape, or form. Can you explain to the House where the relevance is?
If you were listening, the Minister was actually starting to address the question. Please continue, Minister.
Well, I was trying to tell the member for Shellharbour about the solar for low-income household program that we've just rolled out. And in fact, the member for Shellharbour's region will be one of the beneficiaries of this trial scheme. In fact, there are 5 regions across New South Wales who will be benefiting from this: on the North Coast, on the South Coast, in the Illawarra and the Shoalhaven, and of course for the member for Oatley's community down in southern Sydney. And it's a great thing, Mr. Speaker. The Solar for Low-Income Households program is rolling out 3,000 solar schemes, solar panels, to households, for 3,000 households, I should say, at a cost of about $3,000 for installation. And the benefit of this program, Mr. Speaker, is that it'll drive down household bills by, on average, $300. So it's just another example of how we're driving down prices for low-income households, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Swansea, another word and you're out.
Whilst we're working for the worker, the Leader of the Opposition wants to get workers working to pay off Kaila Murnain's debts, Mr. Speaker. And that's the reality, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Keira, rise on a point of order. Minister, if you could resume your seat, thank you.
Speaker, this would be an easy one. 129. This has got nothing to do with the former General Secretary of the Labor Party and everything to do with energy and electricity bills.
Thank you. I'm going to allow the Minister to continue, but I do want the Minister to try and bring it back a little bit more relevant. Thank you.
And the member for Cogger and I are not the only ones that think this is outrageous. I mean, I noted a great article from that great investigative journalist, Andrew Clennell, in The Australian this week, and he was quoting a former General Secretary, a Labor luminary, John Della Bosca, Mr. Speaker. John Della Bosca, who said that those who negotiated the payout for Kaila Murnain failed in their fiduciary duties to the ALP and its members.
Minister, sorry. Yeah. Minister, the member for Keira, yes.
Surprise one.
What's 129?
Unusual.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't think whatever he said for the last minute and a half has been relevant at all.
Thank you. Just sit down. Minister, I am going to ask you to bring it back to
Mr.
energy
Speaker,
matters, please.
I'm very happy to talk about the solar for low income scheme. I'm also happy to inform the House about the emerging energy program that the New South Wales government was roll out. This is a $75 million program, and it's about not only driving down prices by putting more supply into the grid, it's also about delivering reliability into the grid. And what we're doing is we're backing new generation going into the system. New technologies like wind and pumped hydro and hydrogen, for example. The member for Monero is very enthusiastic about nuclear, and that may be part of the solution in the future. I'm yet to believe the technology is quite there, but our emerging energy program is all about backing the private sector to deliver energy into the system. More supply means lower prices. And the benefit of the feasibility studies that have been undertaken, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Oatley.
I asked an extension of time.
Minister, I'm going to grant you 2 minutes, but I'm going to just point out that you've had a fair leeway, so I don't want 2 minutes of beam. Thank you.
I know you're very enthusiastic to hear about the emerging energy program, Mr. Speaker. And basically, we've rolled out 10 feasibility grants to programs from Broken Hill across to Armidale, amongst others, Mr. Speaker. And they're focusing on new generation capacity, bringing electrons into the system to provide more supply and drive down energy prices. So it's exciting, and another example of how we're driving down prices, delivering reliable energy, and the byproduct is it's clean energy too. So it's a good thing all around, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've also got the transmission strategy in New South Wales, and that's about building the infrastructure to allow new generation to be able to come into the grid. We've got a challenge in this state that new projects are coming in the regions, but they can't get their product to market. We want to ensure that they get their product to market, which is why we'll build the transmission infrastructure that they need to be able to get electrons into the market. And that's a good thing. So, Mr. Speaker, everyone loves new things coming into the market, including comments from Della Bosca, who said, Mr. Speaker, that paying legal fees. Never before has an MP party official admitted wrongdoing and had the party pay their legal fees, Mr. Speaker.
Well, it's 129.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
look,
sure
I'm going to give the Minister a little bit. He just gave us a minute of substance. I'm going to give
him
him a little bit of leeway. Sit down, please.
4.5 minutes without
Sit down.
answering
Sorry, I can't hear you, Member Ford. Stop the clock. I can't hear you over your own
Well, the guys in the gallery are very excited about this. They're very excited about the emerging energy scheme.
Yeah, they're leaving because
We've got the clock stopped, Minister. I'm going to allow you to continue. And the last minute has been relevant, so I'm giving you a little bit of leeway, but don't take too much, please.
This is another one of your excellent rulings, Mr. Speaker. An excellent ruling, Mr. Speaker. We've talked about solar for low-income households. We've talked about emerging energy. We've talked about transmission. We're talking about all the things that we're doing to deliver reliable, affordable and clean power into the electricity system, Mr. Speaker. But let me tell you what's not clean. And that's the ALP. In fact, paying Kaila Murnain's fees was described by John Della Bosca as obscene. So, Mr. Speaker, while we're energetically delivering
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Sit down, Minister.
The Leader of the Opposition is energetically
Sit down. Sit down.
Minister. Okay, I'm going to have to put the Minister on one call for that.
I'm done.
Mr. Speaker,
He's finished. Okay.
we wanted to hear more about
I do
what about
ask
Western
ministers.
Sydney.
I just point out I had stopped the clock, but if I asked you to sit down, I do expect you to sit down. I had stopped the clock for your benefit, but I do need to... Do you want your last 10 seconds? You can have it, but have you finished?